Hi, my name is Johanna and welcome to my channel. Today I thought I would talk to you about a fragrance by Burberry. It's this one, Burberry Goddess. This is a fragrance marketed towards women. This is only, as far as I can remember, this is only the second fragrance I have from the House of Burberry. The other one I have is this one. This is Burberry London for her. So, I try not to do negative reviews, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to be honest. I just try to appreciate the fragrance, even if it's not to my taste. So we'll see how this goes today. At some point, I think I'd like to do a video on Burberry London because this was my first fragrance from the House of Burberry, and I got this recommendation from Sarah Mays. She has a YouTube channel by her name here, and she is one of my favorite perfume YouTubers right now. So I really appreciate her perspective, and she recommended this as an inexpensive, I believe it was office-friendly fragrance that the way she described it, I just was like, sure, I'd like to try it. It was under $30 as far as I know, and I got it in January, and I really, really liked it. Really, really liked it. And it's easy to wear. I can't see anybody disliking this fragrance. The only thing they might say is that it's not unique enough or whatever, but it's nice and it's wearable. So in that way, it's practical. I have nothing negative to say about this fragrance. That's what I want to tell you, is that I like the House of Burberry based on that. Now, I don't have anything else by Burberry. I kind of think about some of the others, but then maybe they'll have some notes that I'm not so sure about. But I've heard so much about Burberry Goddess. Haven't you? Haven't you heard so much about this fragrance? And haven't you gotten to the point where you absolutely had to pick some up? Yeah, I've seen some really cool videos on people, obsessing about this fragrance until they could actually get themselves a bottle of it, and then they would finish a bottle within a month, and then they'd have to get another bottle. Not this size, the smaller size bottle. This, I believe, is the 100 milliliter bottle, because I go big. I go blind and I go big. It's my style. It's the way that I do things when it comes to fragrances. So what did I hear about Burberry Goddess? Well, I heard that it was warm and comforting and addictive and gourmand, and there's vanilla mentioned. I love vanilla. That's one aspect, one of the aspects about gourmand fragrances and modern perfumery and the fashion of mainstream perfume these days is that, it's a lot of vanilla, gourmand, kind of sweet compared to previous times. And so I didn't really know anything that would be negative about this. Like for me, why I had no clue that maybe I might not like this very much. So I got this on eBay. I managed to get this whole new bottle sealed and everything for $100 on eBay, which is cheaper than what you can find at a lot of retailers. So I got it and I was excited, and it's a big bottle. So, I get to spray away, and that's what I like to do. I like to spray away. I like to carry it in my pocket around the house sometimes, explore the scent, spray it on my wrist, spray it on the back of my neck. This one, I thought, I'm going to be spraying this before bed because it has lavender in it. I think that's a great combo, lavender and vanilla. Burberry Goddess is called an aromatic fragrance for women. And it was launched in 2023, last year. And the nose behind this fragrance is Amandine Clerc-Marie. The top notes are vanilla, lavender, cacao, and ginger. And the middle note is vanilla caviar. And the base note is vanilla absolute. Still, I don't see a problem here. The main accords on Fragrantica are listed as vanilla, and then lavender, and then warm and spicy. Still, I see no problem here. So maybe this will help. Libre Intense. Now, I bought this because everybody was raving about it, and everyone seemed to agree that the intense version was the best. And I don't know where I get all of these opinions from, but once the bottle arrives and once I have my impressions of it, I'm like, you know, trying to match it all up and see where I went wrong. Because I got this about 1.5 years ago and I can't get into it. I really can't. And you know, the only thing I can see that's similar between these two fragrances is that they both have vanilla and lavender. But otherwise, you know, this one's got a whole lot more notes than this one. This one doesn't have caramel listed, even though it smells to me like it could very well have caramel. And I will tell you that last night when I was trying to fall asleep but couldn't because I was thinking about perfume making, well, I do spray before bed. I spray perfume before bed, and I tried using this again, and I'm like, I want to do a review on this video on this, and I want to give it another chance. Like, I'm never through with these fragrances, giving them chances. I mean, yes, I am going to sell a few that I simply don't have an interest in, that I purchased early on in my journey, but I am not going to sell anything that everyone likes, other females like, and I, you know, just don't, I feel like I'm just not getting it yet, you know, because like with Red Door, I hated it when I first opened the box 2 years ago. And then this time when I opened the box like 6 months ago, I was like, yes, I want to spray it all over. It's so musky and wonderful. So my opinions and my tastes change, and I'm not going to get rid of something and then later have to repurchase it. I'm not going to be one of those people that do that. I tell myself. So yeah, I have Libre Intense, and I've tried, you see how much I've tried wearing this, and I just can't do it. It reminds me of a professional woman who never really takes her shoes off, never takes her heels off, just kind of stays in that elevated position, unrelatable. That's how it feels to me, and it's not vibing with me. It doesn't make me feel comfortable or relaxed. Now this is an elevated fragrance too, but just in a different way. Like, this is sensual, sexy. It's something you would wear on a date. You can wear this during the day. You know, you could wear this all the time. This is a very neutral fragrance in terms of you can enjoy it whenever you want to. I know that about this fragrance. But for me, I'm not like wanting to spray it all over me. And it doesn't project enough when I just spray it like 2 times. It doesn't project a lot in general for me, but I haven't gotten other people's opinions on that. It's just I'm not smelling it when I'm wearing it, even if I spray a small amount, no matter where I spray it. But that's not my chief complaint. My chief complaint is that it's too sweet in a way that reminds me of caramel. And I think it's the combination of the vanilla and the lavender. I don't hate lavender. I love lavender, but I think I have a hard time with it because these two fragrances have that in common. Yeah, so anybody out there dislike this fragrance? Is there anyone out there that dislikes this fragrance? Because I haven't heard of anyone. So I've been hesitant to do this video because I'm like, I don't want to do a negative review. I don't have anything nice to say about that fragrance, is what I was saying for like months. I want resins. I want balsams and resins. When I have lavender and vanilla together, I want balsams and resins. I love that like bitter type of the balsamic and the resinous and the spicy. Like I need that. I need that to keep my interest. I'll say it. For me, this fragrance is boring. That's what it is. It's boring. And I'm not saying that from some high up place. I'm saying that from like a real, honest place. That's how it feels to me. It feels boring. It's a heavy bottle though, because it's got so much juice in it. What am I going to do? I wonder what the fate of this fragrance will be. Because of course I could sell it any day of the week, but then I wouldn't have Burberry Goddess to like go back to and like check in with and see what's changed, you know? So let's just say we're working on a relationship. That's what I'll call it. All right, well, tell me what you think about the Burberry fragrances. Are you staying away from them because you have certain ideas about them or gotten ideas based on certain fragrances that you've smelled? And what is your favorite? Based on what I've said, can you recommend any to start with? I looked at Burberry Touch because I think that's a cool name, but I think it had something in it that I wasn't quite sure about. It might have been lavender or vanilla or caramel. I can't remember. But anyway, I mean, I like the bottles. I like the prices for the most part. Most of them are pretty inexpensive. I also think about rehoming this, but I got to keep my hands on it because Sarah Mays, you know, she's got the YouTube channel. This is like one of her all-time faves. This is her comfort fragrance. She sprays this all the time, probably almost every single day. She sprays this before bed. This is like one of, in fact, I think she said this is her, in her mind, this is the best modern designer fragrance. And she said that it seems like a vintage fragrance to her. It doesn't seem that vintage to me. It doesn't seem all that vintage. It seems like maybe 15 years old vintage, but not like 20, 30-year-old vintage. So, but there are aldehydes in here, and that's vintage. That's a vintage thing. You know, the aldehydes do tend to elevate a fragrance and make it seem like it's for someone more formal, like a more formal situation. She's comfortable wearing this before bed. And so when she said that about like how she thinks that it's going to go down in history as like a really important designer fragrance of this time period, I was like, well, then I'm definitely not getting rid of it because I don't want to be missing out. I've also heard that the other version might be better, like maybe the Parfum. I'm not sure if that was the one I heard might be better, but I'm not going to go buying it just to see. Just because I say that doesn't mean I'm not going to, though. All right, well, thanks for watching. Yeah, I'm going to try and do some more reviews because the more reviews I do and the more like videos of like my impressions or my thoughts or whatever I do, the easier it gets. And it's not quite as much of a struggle to get my thoughts out. So it's actually becoming fun. And I've always wanted to upload more videos, so I'm glad that I'm doing it now. Thanks for watching, and thanks for commenting, and thanks for liking. And if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe because it's free, but feel free. Feel free to come back anytime.